Hey everyone, on this 10-year anniversary of the software being released, I'm excited to announce version 6.0 with a major new feature that for most timers is going to be another service they can offer their customers, or maybe even another service that they can um, you know, charge for if their customers want to pay for it. And I believe most race directors are going to want the ability to send instant SMS results the moment people finish. So that's the big announcement here. I'm going to show a couple other features. There's quite a bit more in this update than I'm going to show, but of course I'm going to keep the video short so people don't tune out. So I'm just going to go straight into timing a race. So let's just pick any random race, and I'm going to pull this over here and pull in also a window that's got my texting. I think I've got that over here. So let's drag this over to this side. So if we're timing a race, just so you can see how quick it is, let's go ahead and pull it up. Earlier I was playing around, so I've already got some results here. So by default, when you pull this this screen up, it does not check this box automatically because I don't want someone playing around or testing stuff and sending text out to a bunch of runners. Now I've got every one of these participants with my Google Voice number, which is over here on the left. So no matter which number I plug in, it's going to work. So let's just say bib number 41 just comes across. You'll see here now, no, look there, I didn't check it. So what I could do is if I find out that I'm like 10, 15, 20 participants in and I forgot to have checked it, I can click on the first one, click on the last one, holding the shift key highlights all of them, and I can right click and say send to SMS. If I do that, it goes through each one of them and sends them all their results. But I'm going to go ahead and check this off, and then now I'll do 42. And you'll see on the left that now this screen is actually not updating as fast as the phone would get it, I don't believe. But the text comes across instantly. Before they exit the chute, they're going to have their results. And so this should keep people away from your tent asking about their results. It may make it to where you don't have to set up a results kiosk, even though people love that little sticker. It may make it to where you don't have to set that up. And like I said, it's an added value, an added service, and also something that helps you stand out against other timers in your area. They probably don't offer this feature, so something that should help you get more business. So that is a quick run through, and you can send as many messages as you want. Let's go. In fact, let me just reset this race back to 0, and because it's an old race, it's going to make a backup of the database, so I don't lose my times. And now let me start it up and give it a more realistic time, and I'll just show you some people coming in kind of quick so you can kind of see what that looks. All right, so I'll just put in 9 numbers. So these should come across. Now the messaging service is going to make sure that they come across at a rate across all numbers available, so you don't get blocked by the carriers or whatever. So that's what that looks like there. Now if any message were to fail, you would be able to see, for example, one failed looks like a retry option. You can also see here the success, the last successful message that went out. It'll list it here. So if I go bib number 19, you'll see in real time that this is the person that received it. Now you'll see also when that message went out, it retried the one that was pending, and it also went out. So the system does a good job keeping itself clean because if you're using your hotspot, your phone as a hotspot, it may go in or out. So your timing should not be affected at all. But if you ever see the retry option, you can either click it manually or just wait for the next person to come across, and it should flush that one out too. While we're on the screen, like I already showed you how you can right click on one or more and do send message. But you can also, if you wanted to send a message to one or all participants, you can highlight all these and right click and do send SMS. And so if you wanted to send a message saying, hey, please return your tags at the green tent, or we'd like to thank our sponsors, blah, 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 XYZ company, whatever, then you can do all that. Or if you ever had a participant, let's say that you know for sure that this person has a chip start time and they have not been accounted for, but the sweeper says that, or the last person comes in saying there's no one behind me, there's no one on the course, then this is a good time where you can right click and say, hey bud, are you still out there? Everything okay? Did you get picked up? Whatever, and they can respond back. And so we're going to use this quite a bit, I'm sure, for our trail runs. So I'm super excited about having this ability to easily message people. While you're on the screen, the other ways you can text people is if you were to search for someone's results, there's that option here. So that is the quick overview of the SMS capability on the clock screen. There is additional capabilities on other screens. If you go to the results kiosk, you'll notice a new text option here. So if someone types in a number, they can just hit text and it sends their results. So results sent to Aaron's phone. So that's new. And then while you're here, you can also, I think I can't remember if I mentioned this earlier or not, you can highlight one or more. So if I highlight all these, send SMS to those or to everybody. Or if I verify age and gender and I find someone, now this is my testing database, so it's got all kinds of bad data in it. But let's say Robert, you're more than likely not a female. If it was listed as a female, you can right click on Robert's name and say, hey Robert, can I've got you listed as a female. Can you verify that, please? Just you might have to be careful how you ask some of those questions, but that's how I plan on using it. You can also double click on someone's name and click at the little icon here and send them a message. Um, so that is the texting capability. One thing I forgot to mention in this new in the clock screen also, because this happened today, so I added this feature in today. And it's not the first time. In over 10 years, I've seen this happen once or twice more, where someone will check the box to capture chip start times, and then they do the chip starts, everyone runs through. Maybe they get distracted before they, something distracts them or something happens, and they forget. Maybe they go over to a different tab, and they forget to come over here and tell the software, I'm done capturing chip start times. And if that were to happen, of course, when the runners come back through the system, of course, you've told it to capture chip start times. That's what it's doing. And so those people will run by and no results will appear on the left because it's simply updating the start time in here. And so this right here, this green box is new, letting you know, hopefully, no matter where you go, because more than likely our eyeballs are always going to be near the clock. And so hopefully this little indicator here says you're currently capturing chip start times will prevent anyone going forward of making that mistake. So that's new also. Okay, so one of the other things I think people would like to see is in the settings screen, on the advanced tab, there's this option here. This is checked by default because that's what it's always been. It's always stored the reader's information in the database. So I have to check this by default when you get this upgrade because otherwise you wouldn't see your reader list. If you uncheck this box, you can now add your readers and they stay on the computer. Like the software will always point to the list of readers that the computer has instead of what the database has. And so now you can swap your databases all around, create new databases, do whatever, and you no longer have to worry about updating your reader list or changing it around or whatever. So most timers are probably going to want to uncheck this box. While we're here, this is a feature that's been here for a while, but I want to bring it up anyways. If you constantly get a list of like Thinkific readers list added into the software automatically, it could be some USB components that the software thinks it might be a USB reader, so it adds it in. And if you know for sure you don't have any ThinkMagic or Thinkific readers, you can check this box and it'll totally skip adding those in by default. Again, it doesn't cause any problems to add them in there. It simply fails to connect to the reader. But that's a few seconds that it might as well not be making you wait on trying to connect to readers that's not there. So I just want to make sure you know about that. Okay, so a couple other things I did improve Arrow Live results quite a bit, the speed and how the countries and states are listed. And um, I will say that the texting capability that is only available for Endurance members. And by the way, the texting capability, you can add your own custom header or footer, so you can put like your company name, company logo, website, or timing services by, or anything you want. Put a Bible verse down here, or anything at all you want to send to everybody. I'm trying to think of the things I've seen over the years. But any kind of like you could like for every race you can swap this to say we'd like to thank our sponsors, and then that way the sponsors are listed when the athletes get the results or any custom message you send out. And one of the common things I'm assuming people may say, what I'm going to add is, and I actually probably do this as something I do during the race. So if I'm timing this race, I may send a message that's not in the header or footer. I'll actually just highlight everybody and to say, while I'm timing, maybe before they come in, hey, please remember to return your tags or something. Um, so, but anyways, that is the texting capability built into the software. Let me take a quick look. Oh, so the other last texting capabilities, if you go to send message, text participants, you can come in here and type any message you want. And as you type, it'll show you, hey, here's how many characters you've typed. And based on these number of characters, each text is going to cost you this amount. And so this is the rate at which Twilio charges. And add a bunch of messages, you'll see that as it gets above 160, or for every 160, the price goes up, doubles for every 160 characters. And so now if I come in here and pick this race and say, well, a text message of this length for this number of people is going to cost you $2.45 roughly. So if I keep it under 160 characters, well, now that is going to be $1.22 if I send this message out. So 160 characters is actually a pretty decent amount. You see here I got almost 100 more characters to go for whatever messages I want to send. And this just like the email screen, you can put in dynamic fields, so you can put in hi, Joe Blow, whatever information you want for the text. Okay, and then the final thing I guess I'll say is that the texting, like I said before, does require the Endurance membership. You can sign up here, and it also, you do have to sign up for an Arrow Live Result account. You don't have to use the website, but you do need to sign it up because that's how the software knows if you're an Endurance member or not. And the Twilio integration, I'm using your Twilio credentials here instead of simply just building my own in to where you don't have to put anything in here, because it's a big security flaw or risk if I were to like include all of my stuff hard coded in the software, or to try to take the time to pull it from a web service somewhere. That's still a security problem, and funneling everybody's over 600 timers textings on text messages on the weekends through my phone numbers alone. It's gonna be slow. It's gonna be security problems. It's gonna make it to where you can't set it up to receive replies back to your personal number. So setting up your own Twilio account, it's really easy to do, really inexpensive. Every phone number is $1 a month. And then as you see, the text messaging is really cheap. But it makes it to where if you follow the guide here that I've got the interface guide here, I show you how to set it up to where if you want, you can receive replies back to the numbers or the text that the system sends out. You can receive it back on your cell phone number. Because as a timer, right, if you do a good job and a race director happens to be in one of the races you're running, you want to be able to respond back to them if they say, hey, first we want to be able to see the message, and they say, hey, you did a great job. We want to hire you for our race in September or whatever. And so most people are going to want to set it up this way. So um, there's plenty more I could show, but I'm going to try to make this video as short as I can. So we'll stop it here. But I'm looking forward to everyone using it, looking forward to everyone's feedback. Super excited about this update. Really glad to get it out before the fall season and on the 10-year anniversary of the system. So looking forward to your responses on the users forum when you guys use it, and hope you guys have a great fall season.